Welcome to Jamaica, the island of real bad man. Some real dog at you, some real gang bang. No run for the fair, in a garbage pan. Step up! These are the moments when everybody gun loaded. We not instigate violence, but we believe in the self-defense no matter what. These are the moments when every gangster gun loaded. We not instigate violence, but we believe in the self-defense. In Jamaica's relentless war and crime, the worst criminals end up on the True Island Stories platform. These are their stories. Welcome to True Island Stories. Ladies, I'm doing this story on behalf of all my male counterparts and also on behalf of yours truly, the Guru God himself. Now I wish all females were capable of getting what women call the dreaded blue balls. Now there are two types of BBs. One is the blue bone and the other is called blue balls. I know most of you females, and us alpha males included, feels a high level of accomplishment when we acquire a blue bone. Peculiarly though, both blue balls and blue bone have similar symptoms in that we have to remain with our backs bent because of the excruciating pain that renders us incapable of standing upright during the ordeal or after the ordeal, the intercourse ordeal. Until the pain subsides tremendously, we have to just stand there bending, moaning in agony. Blue bone is a painful illustration of when women beat up the vaginal cavities with a certain degree of venom, resulting in a terrible pain in our pelvic and scrotum area afterwards. Blue balls occur pre-intercourse, while blue bone is the exact opposite. That occurs post-intercourse, and that is usually a result of the constant pounding of the pelvis against the female. And most time that happens, now this might be funny, is when the female is, well, slim built, skinny, and her butt cheekbone kind of bony, like that's the best way I can put it. So that cheekbone and her butt hits you on your pelvis, so there's not a lot of meat between your pelvis and her butt when you are doing it from the backway position. No, that's the best way I can describe it. And it's usually indicative that we went hard in the slippery paint. Hard? Literally, yes. Literally hard. Now, blue balls can be considered the direct opposite of blue bone because unlike blue bone, blue balls is a serious, wicked pain that we get in our scrotum. And when I say serious, that really is an understatement. I'm talking serious, excruciating pain. Now, I do not know how period pain feel, but I would like to think the two BBs are not too dissimilar in their pain threshold percentages. I'm sure the comment section will be overflooded when I have concluded this much needed landmark timepiece. Okay, what are some of the main triggers of blue balls? 1. When you ladies promise us the sardine and then turn around hide the cutter. That's a sure blue balls trigger right there. And 2, when we're out partying, drinking and having a good time, we men might be partying, but in our heads, deep in the back of our head, we have a time clock, and we call it the pum pum clock. And you say that clock, never play with that clock, cause that little clock can tick and tock and explode there like a bomb. The sole purpose of that clock is to time how much time we have left in the pum pum window before we leave the party. The distance from the party to our final destination where we'll rendezvous and continue to voulez-vous. The amount of time left for you to get sleepy. And speaking of sleep, do not promise us that thing in the day with words of erotic endearments. Torture us with solid expectations of lewd acts of promised promiscuity, having us unable to concentrate on anything else but the promised rankined flesh. And then in the vehicle on the ride home, you start yawn. Damn, I'm starting to get sleepy. Oh boy, here we go again. Here we fucking go again. Sleepy? I will sleep, I go. I was sleeping dropping on my thing. Eh? Yo, I hope she not come, but I would have sleeping something up on man, you know. Oh, yo, you know what's that dim thing that me a talk about, brother? Dim thing that me a talk about in a style. Chop, buckler. Every time man forget like a push when we go out and come in back, I be a them thing I want, you know. Yo, you cannot bother with that, you know. Come on, who am I? Oh, that me I tell you. Oh, that's the silent convo raging on in our heads, while the jovial mood exuded on our exterior immediately dissipates into, yo, right in our bricks, my bicks. Another thing important that our time clock computes. We observe very closely the amount of liquor you consume on the night for you not to get drunk enough that it discombobulates your motor functions. The time it's also going to take for our sexual paraphernalia to wear off. That is liquor and weed or whatever floats your boat. Wondering if everything is going to turn out into a big fat bust like the last time you fell asleep by me for finish my weed and finish G out the Guinness buckle. Fully sagged up, we come jump out the transmission and boy, you're gonna jump asleep, man. I want to enter the room and find you fast asleep in your jammies, as if sending him a message saying you were up enough to know exactly what you were doing, especially when I even wash out your jammies earlier and pack them at the bottom of the pile in your clean clothes basket. Then we are left with an ultimate dilemma. Our throats immediately get dried up to the point where any attempt to swallow our saliva becomes impossible. A burning lump formulates slowly and painfully in the middle of our chest cavity. Then a sudden fit of unexplicable rage engulfs and engorges us, and we freeze on the spot. In that moment, when we found you soundly asleep, then we ask ourselves these foolish rhetorical questions. Wait, asleep she can't sleep? I couldn't sleep, she can't sleep, man. Followed by a Simone. Asleep. Simone. Then a slight chuckle. Simone, you asleep? Fully covered from head to toe with the comforter that you bought. Yes, you bought. And I know it might sound a tad petty, but believe me, from our angered perspective, nothing is off the table when you are left blue ballsed. Then Simone barely answers, accentuating her discontent. And then silence. And then while we are left standing with a raging stiffy that an overweight monkey could perhaps swing on and win gold in every category at the Animal Olympics and make his jungle proud. 3 cheers for Monkey! Ahoo! 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 While we are left stood with a hood stood, caught in a lonely cognitive dissonance, wondering whether we should go to the bathroom or wheel off one brawling, drain the lizard, choke the chicken. Rupert? Yes, sir, good sir. Quite so. Choke the chicken, sir. Yes, sir. Brilliant, good sir. And when Simone wakes up tomorrow and needs her penal fix immediately, in your mind you're like, yo, walker, yo. You think I like last night? Yeah, man. You bugger, yo. Long run shot catch here. Think I wouldn't catch your back? And whole out and starve her of her seductive desires in sweet revenge. Well, that's one scenario. And I'm giving you in separate scenarios, all while undergoing the unbearable blue balls, the trauma. Oh, how unthoughtful of you. I just can't. Believe it or not, ladies, we men do something we call prepping for the pumps. Whether it be exotic blends of oatmeal and sarsaparilla, 9 morning mixed with ramen, peanut and Irish mash, and a whole lot more. Leave in the comment section some of the bad concoction when I leave out. Okay, gentlemen? Thank you. But wait, gentlemen, am I saying too much? Am I now disclosing thousands of years of potent masculine secrets transcending through the vast columns of time? Am I? Okay, the point I was getting to is that we men take our little secret concoctions to enhance our penal performance. Whether it be the reluctant delay in the eject department or making our javelin rock solid, the weed and the liquor, that enhances our mental state, because you might not believe this, but numerous studies have discovered that sex is very mental for men. So basically, we just zone the out and put the D on you like you stole something. Beat like an obstinate mule climbing a hill loaded, but only has 3 legs, sadly. Now with all that preparation by us, just to be met with a cover and a snore, well, that behavior only serves to build up a raging volcano in the depths of her soul, and anger pouring out like a broken pipe. Then the spite demon enters our cerebral realm. And trust me, he can be very creative with his weapons methodology. Tomorrow when you wake up, you'll be greeted with a sour face and either ignoring or short, snappy answers. Yo, Junior, did you take the tea out of the microwave? I don't know what you're talking about. Then you'll be denied everything we earlier promised. So I know I better me go to road, just go walk all some girl and do what me do. No care and no cat and no business neither, you know. Like some of my broke friend them. Look how me a boy have my money, eh? Me own a house, eh? Me drive here coming like car lot. And some of my friends them a catch them friend and then I sleep on the phone cup when night come, eh? And I get more puss than pad. Eh? And good me there with my whole heap of money. I make some like a idiot girl come whole out per man and the most of the least in our front. You hear me? Style she come style all man tea, you know. Alright man. It's alright, yeah? Me too nice man. And nice me too beard cat nice man. Eh? And me name Mr. Nice Guy. It's alright, yeah? Me name Mr. Beard Cat Nice Guy man. Watch alright. Well, me tell you this. You see, after today, remember me, Johnny Jankro, tell you this. You see, after today, I done with that Mr. Nice Guy something there, yeah? After today, a girl go do what she want do, cause me, I go do what me, I figure do. Never again. Sickler. And then you fling down your plate and broke it. And shout at the last sight this loudly. Me say not another day. Not another day. That time, Simone is laying there frightened out of her skin, not knowing where this big uncalled for flare-up is stemming from. But trust me, you know, because you know this is not the first time that I'm exhibiting this type of distasteful behavior. You know, deep in your heart, it's stemming from last night's pum-pum protest brought forward. All of this could have been avoided. You knew the risks attached, and yet you breached the penis perimeter. Don't ever breach a starved pilgrim's peri. And while you're there carrying on and on in your blind fury, your fit of rage, you look down and feel the fabric that covers your loins is being tampered with maliciously. And then you hear that all too familiar sound of a female on the job being careful not to, well, blow it perhaps. Oh, girl, do behave. And she just conquers you with her sublime dung skills. And you melt away in the palm of her hands, literally, and submit easily like a puppy getting its belly rubbed. And all of a sudden, voila! All is immediately forgiven. But all is not forgotten. The guru has spoken. We've come to the end of the Blue Ballz versus Blue Bone story. Join us for more stories coming soon on the True Island Stories platform. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And please leave a comment. Press that notification bell so you don't miss another story. And that like and that comment really helps the channel. Really helps the channel. Okay? Check out our other stories on the Squash versus Shabdan story. The truth behind it is Shabdan's arrest, the dark truth. Okay, in the Shabdan Tell All series. And if you haven't checked the rest of the series out, we reached what? Part 6 with actually about 9 or 10 episodes. So if you haven't checked out the Shabdan Tell All, you're missing out all that. Alright, and Damage series coming up shortly. So look out for that. Another piece on scamming, inner workings after scamming. Alright, so if you haven't checked out the top 5 scammers in Jamaica, richest, deadliest, and wickedest, you can check that out, alright? Walk out, stay touchable, please. But if you choose to pick up the gun or the knife, then there's a chance you might end up on True Island Stories. What? Well, are you chooser?
I am Joy.
Pepper, you know the real G thing, huh? How I grow up, sometime the road tough, side slow. Real patriots never buckle, never fall. How they get to run, that's why. Back from the boy, we don't do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, and a man bust a shot him off a pack up and board. Pointed on him head back and board. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, no assumption. I saw the ground rough, yeah. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation. I see the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one. Things forever bury with no done. Name one. One good honest politician. Name one. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy who no do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy. Who no boy. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, yo, now a man better boy. And a man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, you a man better. Things risky, fit the misfit. Death rate fit the logistic. Chris, I want the biscuit. Eight of crackers with the whiskey. You're not listening. Crime live here, so it's not visiting. Visitors, careful, you know what the business is. Murder, plunder, pillaging, bloodshed in all the villages. You name it, you will live in it. Get rich, I do special delivery. Nightmare, tormented images. Vengeance, bloody cycle continuing. But know you seek that, but it's no revenge. Looking at the mirror, there is no different. Man, we're full of, hey, and we know we trends back from the boy, who no do that. Boy, who no can't tell with joy, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know around, boy. Yup, now a man better. Any man bust no shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, now a man better. No assumption, I saw the ground run. Power, marital corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation, passing the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one, brings a fella with no name one. One honest politician, name one who. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy who no do that. Boy, can't kill with joy on the back. Boy, who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, a man better boy. Any man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, none of that. Yo, you know the thing going on, suck a seat up a beat, you know. Hey man, take your time man. Boy, man. To them people.